Hi, my name is Jessica and I'm one of the tiger keepers here at the Minnesota Zoo. When they're first born, Mom has them in a den. We keep it very quiet. We limit the number of people that are going in there, so it's just their primary keepers. That allows Mom to feel safe and secure, and the cubs to also feel safe and secure. When cubs are born, they are born totally dependent on Mom. Their eyes aren't even open yet, and they're about 2 pounds, which can be very different from when you think of hoofstock animals. When they're born, they're up and ready to run because they're prey animals away from the predators. The difference is the tigers are the predators, so they don't have to worry about that as much. So cubs are born very helpless in the beginning, and then eventually they grow up, they open their eyes, they start to be more mobile, they start moving around, and that's when we begin training, that's when we begin the bonding. We start introducing more keepers and more people as long as Mom and cubs are comfortable. We start opening them up to more areas in the barn. You may notice that you might see Dari out on habitat by herself right now. So the cubs have started eating more meat. They're nursing less off of Mom, and in the wild, this would be the time when she would leave her cubs for longer periods of time. And so we're doing that for her. We're opening the doors, allowing her to choose if she wants to go on habitat, keeping the doors open, and when she's done exploring around habitat, then she comes back inside when she's ready to her cubs. They're usually asleep in the den, don't even notice she's gone. So it's a great way for her to kind of get that natural behavior of leaving the cubs for a little bit, being comfortable doing that, but then also getting her some exercise and getting her back out on habitat. And then eventually we will start having the cubs follow her and making sure that they follow Mom and they can get over all the barriers and that they're comfortable doing that. And that's what we work on behind the scenes before you even see the cubs out on habitat.
Hi, I'm Dr. Rivas. I am the Director of Animal Health here at the Minnesota Zoo. Any baby born at the zoo has a birth management plan that we work on between the animal health teams and the bioprograms teams, where we plot out everything from when introductions between male and female are done, to key milestones during pregnancy, any pregnancy tests that we might do, anything to expect around a normal labor and delivery, and then key milestones for the babies, including all their key health checkpoints and preventative health treatments and vaccines that they have as they grow and develop. The biggest thing we always watch is weight. So are they gaining enough weight, showing that they're getting enough nutrition from Mom? And again, because Dari is such a great mom and because she has a good relationship with the keepers, early on we were able to go in and weigh the cubs daily to look for those weight gains. And that was one of the things that keyed us in early on, that we were having some problems with them. And it was also one of the things that told us we were back on track when we got them on the right therapies with antibiotics and a few other things. And we continue to watch that throughout their growth and development to make sure Mom's producing enough milk. When they start transitioning to meat, that they're getting enough meat and they're weaning appropriately, and that we don't have any concerns with that. But beyond weight, we also look at other milestones when they first stand up for the first time, when their eyes open, when their ears open, that they start exploring and playing with one another. So because Amur tigers have been in human care for so long at zoos, we have a really good understanding of when babies should do all these steps, including when they first start jumping and pouncing and all those little things that you might not think are a big deal, but we kind of have an idea on when that should happen and make sure our cubs hit all those key time points.
Hi, I'm Maggie. I work at the Minnesota Zoo as a zookeeper. I work primarily with the tigers and the leopards on the Northern Trail. Introducing them to lots of different stimuli is super important. We start really young and do that on purpose. So we want to ensure to encourage the cubs to play with things of all different sizes and noises while they're little, so that they are not afraid of that kind of stuff when they're older. And so far it's been a great success. They have a lot of fun playing with pretty much everything. Tigers love water, so it's pretty natural for them to want to explore it right away. So we start with really small pools. We started with, if you've checked out our social media, some of the early videos showed like a winter sled. We filled that up with water, so it was very shallow. They could kind of just touch it with their paws, dip their feet in it. And then we've graduated to things like a kiddie pool, so they can go in and maybe get like their bellies wet, but not fully swim yet. So eventually they will, once they're older, be a little bit more confident and better able to swim on their own. They'll have the ability to swim in the moat on Tiger Lair. Since we are creating kind of like a maternity area on Tiger Lair, we have put a fence down the middle of Tiger Lair to prevent them from being able to use the moat, because we don't want any accidents in the moat before they're able to swim. So we added a water feature in their little maternity area on Tiger Lair to give them the ability to stay cool during the hot summers.
Hi there, my name is Trista Fisher. I am the zoologist here on the Northern Trail, as well as the vice coordinator for the Amur tiger subspecies SSP, which is the Species Survival Plan. It's a cooperative breeding program. Currently, we have about just over 45 facilities that participate in this program. Most are regionally in the US. We have a few in Canada, and then also we have one in South Korea. What that program does is it looks at how do we maintain genetic diversity and sustainability. So should we need to support wild populations, we have the power to do so with the highest level of fitness for this species. And so the genetic diversity for the Amur tigers is incredibly high. That's a huge kudos to Minnesota Zoo as the program was started here. But with that being said, every birth is just as important as the last. And so especially right now, we've had a decline in breeding success over these pandemic years. And so every birth that occurs really gives us a little bit of a boost in the genetic sustainability of the population as a whole, which is really, really important, as we need to make sure this population is steady for at least 100 years. Genetically speaking, if I was to project into the future for these kiddos, all three are very genetically valuable, meaning that they're very likely to get a breeding recommendation, because them producing more offspring and continuing that process is only going to increase the genetic diversity and the strength of the overall population.